Hello friends, welcome to Career Plot. In this lecture, we'll just continue and learn about some tips and guidelines for online ad campaigns. So first of all, we did study about keyword research. We used Keyword Planner tool. Now there are certain things we need to take care of while doing keyword planning, because keyword planning is one of the most important to run ad campaigns. So there are 4 types of keyword plannings you can do. There are match types. They are called match types. The first match type is broad, which means that any kind of keyword can come in if it is related to the keywords you have given. For example, if I want to do a keyword search on marketing courses, so typically the keywords which will appear in the broad search can be marketing courses, marketing degrees, project management, product management, management courses, marketing, digital marketing. It's a very broad term. So it looks at all the courses, all the things available around that industry and tries to serve you the result. That's why it's called a very broad search. Now, typically you should not do too much broad search. In general, unless you are very keen to acquire every single customer or a lot of customers onto your website as a traffic, which might be a waste of clicks happening for you. So generally large companies do broad searches because they want everyone to come to their website. You should not do too much of broad search, because you will end up losing a lot of money and not have directed traffic towards your website if you are having a very niche product. Second is called phrase search. Now, phrase search is a limited search which is generally used in keyword research and keyword planning. Phrase is all about, let's say if I have a phrase called marketing courses, the search results will always contain marketing courses, marketing degrees, marketing programs, or it can contain about digital marketing or something like that into the keyword match types. So phrase is like a near match kind of a scenario. Then there is something called exact. So exact is the third type of match types in keywords, which means match my keywords exactly as it is. So if my keyword is marketing course, it will look all the terms only for marketing course, and all the pages, all the relevant information about marketing courses. So if the page, if the URL, if the informative site does not contain marketing courses, it will not show up at all. Then fourth is a negative type, which means I do not want these words. So you can have a huge negative list, but negative lists are always uses exact words. You can always have negative broad and negative phrase way of doing things, but generally negative is an exhaustive list and you cannot prepare that much exhaustive list. So until you are very sure of which word should not be there, do not use negative list at all. Use keyword planning tools very effectively, because keyword planning tools can help you to find the right keywords and to tell you which keyword will perform better and which will perform badly, and they will even optimize your campaigns, and they can actually forecast how much money you need to invest and your bid prices and everything. So keyword planning tools are very important because they can optimize your bids according to the keywords. And definitely you should research on competitive keywords. Now, this is one technique which people apply, and in the digital marketing world, there are different opinions about this technique of using it as ethical or unethical. But to let you know that competitive keywords are always used. For example, you can use the keywords of your rival company to drive traffic towards your website, which is considered okay in technical terms, but opinions can be different in the market. Then fourth one is follow the keyword guidelines strictly. Please stick to keyword guidelines, because if you violate them, your ad text or ad quality score will go down and your ad might not even show up, and you will be struggling to show your ad if the guidelines are not followed. Now let's talk about ad text selection. So all said and done, until your ad text is nice, nothing can work for you. So it should be very attractive. It should be talking about how your product is super, how your website is nice, and how it can benefit the user in very small number of words. So follow the character limitations, because ad texts are limited characters. You should practice writing your product descriptions in less than 10 words or less than 15 words, because that's as the max, that's the space you will get to write about your product. Then there's a display URL and destination URL fields which are considered by ad text formats. So sometimes your destination URL is very, very large, and it can follow a long pattern of slashes. So it might not look good, and user might get confused. So make sure your display URL looks nicer, which is shorter. Sometimes you can use even the URL shortening services to make display URL look very short and conveying the right meaning. Make sure that you incorporate selected keywords in your ad text, that the keywords you have selected are there in the ad text, because otherwise it will defeat the whole purpose, right? Make sure that do not give exclamation marks or any other special characters into ad text, because it does not make the ad text look nicer and does not serve any purpose. Avoid generic superlatives, which means that do not use words like, hey, we are the best, we are largest, we are greatest, because this doesn't help. Every company wants to boast of them, but then it doesn't make sense. Try to sell your product. Don't show it's like the best product in town, but talk about your product, how it can benefit the user. It will make more sense to the user. Do not repeat too many words. So for example, if you're using one particular word and you're writing an ad text, you should not try to repeat that word 3 or 4 times, because it will take up the space. Just try to use the space judiciously with less words and more defining the product. Do not use any call to action phrase. Call to action phrases are typically, hey, click here to learn more, click here to sign up. This doesn't make sense, because on the ad text on search engines, people are looking for information. They're not looking for action. The only action they perform there is to click on the link you provide. And that is understood and implicit to the user. They know that they have to click the link to go to the website. So if you're using call to action phrases, not only you are wasting your ad space, you're making ad text low quality, which is not getting enough score by the search engines. Once you have followed the guidelines of ad text, make sure that your targeting parameters are set correctly again, that your geo-targeting is set. If you're a global company, then your global targeting is done. If you're a hyperlocal company, then make sure that a city or a district is set correctly. If you're a regional company, make sure your states are set correctly. If you're a national company, then you can just set the country, but make sure that profiles or geolocations have been set correctly. Make sure again that you are an online store versus offline store. Your opening hours, everything has been mentioned correctly in the targeting parameters. One of the things you should do is always track the conversions. So the people who come to your website by clicking on search engine results, make sure that you have some action on the landing page so that you can track the conversion ratios or the conversion rates, right? So, and conversion can be done by any measure. For example, even a form submission is a conversion, purchase is a conversion, leaving a review is a conversion. So anyone who takes any action on your landing page is called a conversion. They can be good leads. So let's say if a person comes to your landing page and wants to know more, he simply submits his name and email ID or phone number. It's a lead for you, for your sales guys to actually go and talk to that customer and figure out whether he needs your product or not. So, but this is an action, and this is called the first level conversion. So make sure you're tracking conversions, because this will help you optimize your ads and track which customers are working, which segments are working, and which are not performing, so that you can remove the non-performing segments and put more emphasis on the performing segments. So in this session, we learned all about the tips and tricks of online advertising. So we made sure that we talk about guidelines of keyword selection. We talked about some tips on ad text selection. We talked about targeting parameters to be right, and then we talked about the conversion tracking. Thank you very much.